Hi, I'm Mark Moreland, back with more on the Knights of Light. This time we're going one step further into the journey of life, the light, and how these nightly quests can really help us with that. As we've mentioned, perhaps you're looking for more meaning in your life. Maybe you're off track and are looking for a way to get yourself righted. You are not alone, and there's actually an epidemic going on out there. We'll help you find what you're looking for. But to do so, we have to start at the beginning. Life is a mystery. I think almost everyone agrees with that, especially if you have kids or brothers or sisters or parents. One of the most mysterious things, though, is something we actually forgot. We were actually brilliant, or even more to the point, light. We literally possess the light of the world. Doesn't always seem like it, does it, though? Further, as we dig in, we find our lives have meaning, but our stories have purpose. But we are not our story. Is there a divine plan? What do we make of it? What does it seem that paradox is the order of the day instead of the exception? Why can I sometimes be of two minds? And where does free will come into play? To understand the mystery better, it is quite efficient to think of life in terms of a journey. Perhaps an unexpected journey, but one nonetheless. Circle of life, our life's purpose, the grand scheme, our code of life, our own path. You get the idea. Within this notion, there is a general understanding among almost everyone that in those moments where you've suddenly found your path, you have this unexpected energy and imagination. You become in the zone, on fire, maybe even enlightened. That's definitely a key indicator. It is worth examining this. Choosing your own path is a sacred privilege. The ancient philosophers taught us this. The unexamined life is not worth living. Know thyself. To thine own self be true. Seek God's will, if that works for you. All of this takes effort, purposeful design effort. This comes back to the age-old questions, and in particular, why am I here and what is my destiny? I think many of us quickly arrive at a partial answer. Destiny is a matter of choice, not chance. We also have this notion of the whole secret of life is to find our destiny and then pursue it. If we get filled up with this, it's easy to pursue. Purpose before self. No additional motivation is required. At this point, several quotes come to mind. Man improves himself as he follows his path. If he stands still waiting to improve before he makes a decision, he'll never move. That's Paulo Coelho. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. And that's Emerson. We shall not cease from exploration, and at the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. T.S. Eliot. All of this is well and good until the inevitable darkness arrives. And this darkness comes in the form of fear, anger, laziness. These things have been called the downfalls of human beings. But before we discuss the enemy, let's examine the knighthood designed to protect and defend. And remember, this is your knighthood. All you have to do is choose to follow it. Look, I want to make one thing clear from the outset. This is an open society. There simply have been too many secret societies hoarding this wisdom of the ages for simply too long. The light side of our natures, the light side of humanity, has to take it back. We are the ones to do it. We will do it. J.R.R. Tolkien had this to say, "The enemy is strong beyond our reckoning, yet we have hope at which he has not guessed. Cast aside regret and fear. Do the deed at hand." In literature, it is highly regarded that a protagonist is highly defined by its antagonist. Therefore, a knight of light will be formed in some way by the dark. It gives us boundaries, a certain structure, and forms a general philosophy. The principles are embedded into the quests. As with most things in life, we get better by doing, and our doing follows a structure. At the same time, we will not entirely follow in the footsteps of those who have gone before, but we will seek what they sought. This allows for our own creative expression. At times you will have to make yourself do the thing you have to do, whether you like it or not. Growth and courage come from that. We will also learn to give all that we can and accept all that we are given. Many of us have a hard time with that latter part, but we'll get better at it. There will be practical suggestions on how to plan and then track your growth. For now, these quotes really cut to the chase as for the need for the knighthood. The battles we fight are on the inside, and that's from Dan Millman. peaceful warrior. Only as a warrior can one withstand the path of knowledge. A warrior cannot complain or regret anything. His life is an endless challenge, and challenges cannot be good or bad. Challenges are simply challenges. That's Carlos Castaneda. Had the world been conceived just to praise God, there would be no fervor in glorifying God. Equip man with a sword, remove his infirmities, and see what he will be, a brave knight or a devious thief. That's Rumi. And here's something from Wayne Dyer. My favorite quote from Albert Einstein hangs on a poster in my office. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. He went on to say, you are a great spirit, live that way. And then this from Teddy Roosevelt. Aggressive fighting for right is the noblest sport the world affords. For many of us, darkness doesn't need to really be defined. The band U2 has a lyric from one of their songs. If you just close your eyes, you can feel the enemy. Anger, fear, resentment, jealousy, regret, remorse, depression, addiction, numbing down or checking out or living a digital life and ignoring our analog selves. You know what buttons set you off. Endless recessions, endless wars, skyrocketing suicide rates, elevated education costs, lack of meaningful work, divisions in the country. These are all things that indicate that darkness currently has the upper hand. This can be changed, but only one step at a time, and only one light at a time. We can be those lights, but only if we trust our vision. Industrialization and intellectualism has lured the center of our awareness from our hearts, that place where we reside and commune with the light. It's now in foreign territory, placed squarely in the head where it does not belong. It must now contend with the dominant resident of the head, the ego. The ego wants control, and its primary tool is fear in its many forms. But we have hope, because without darkness there would be no fervor for the light. In fact, darkness may have overplayed its hand. We now long for the light. It was better for the dark when we were sleepwalking. There will be much more on this aspect later. Now that you've seen the need for the quest, something on the knighthood, and the need for the knighthood, namely the dark, we will now turn our attention to light. It must be understood from the outset that only light dispels darkness. MLK Jr. and Gandhi made this the crux of their teachings. So did Jesus. We see evidence of this each day, as the light of dawn dissolves the night. We also see the annual seasonal tug-of-war between light and dark, spring and autumn. The light has been the ultimate metaphor for all that is powerful, good, enriching, and life-giving throughout man's history on earth. It is the first creation in Genesis. It is the beginning of the food chain causing photosynthesis. And it is the name of a deity figure throughout historical cultures and religions. It also represents energy, life force, and wisdom. The good news for us all is that each night gets to decide what their light is. If we are to pursue light by whatever title, we all pursue that which is good and true, a truly unifying force. And the world could use some major healing along those lines right now. I want to turn to the first quest, the visioning quest. Listen to your heart. And really, we only have time in this video to scratch the surface of the first phase of the quest. One word from the outset: even if you choose not to follow the Knights of Light and the quests, all will not be lost if you understand this first phase. Ready for it? Here it is. Follow your heart's desire, or follow your bliss. Steve Jobs talked about this. Napoleon Hill emphasized that desire was the starting point for all achievement. And desire is also the only requirement for membership in a 12-step program, a life-saving program. Desire is extremely powerful, but it must be informed. It implies a certain level of searching, understanding your purpose, wanting to make a contribution, whatever you can. There's a certain magnetism in desire, and those who have felt it understand that what you desire desires you. Note that it's a feeling. It's not a head thing. It's a heart thing. And as the fox said to the little prince, "Here is my secret. It is very simple. It is only with the heart that one sees rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." And keep in mind, a real listening heart perceives real meaning. We could all certainly use more of that. Now, throughout the course of the Knights of Light, there will be dozens of opportunities to practice these principles. let's connect this part. The light has also been the metaphor for them. This is all going to be cut, this is going to be cut, this is cut. I now want to turn to the first quest, the visioning quest. Listen to your heart. And really, we only have time in this video to scratch the surface of the first phase of this quest. One word from the outset, even if you choose not to follow the Knights of Light and the quest, all will not be lost if you really understand this first phase. Ready for it? Here it is. Follow your heart's desire, or follow your bliss. Steve Jobs talked about this. Napoleon Hill emphasizes that desire is the starting point of all achievement. And desire is also the only requirement for membership in a 12-step program, a life-saving program. Desire is extremely powerful, but it must be informed. It implies a certain level of searching, understanding your purpose, wanting to make whatever contribution you can. There's magnetism in desire. And those who have felt it understand that what you desire desires you. Note that it's a feeling. It's not a head thing, it's a heart thing. And as the fox said to the little prince, here is my secret. It is very simple. It is only with the heart that one sees rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. And keep in mind that a real listening heart perceives real meaning. We could all use more of that. Now, throughout the course of the Knights of Light, there will be dozens of opportunities to practice these principles. Practice is what will move the meter. If this rings true for you, or even if it seems like you're out of practice given our intellectualization of our digital world, have no fear. We've got a formula for you to follow. My suggestion is you click on the link to the Knights of Light Night Vision to get immersed in the allegory of the first quest and get started. And in the meantime, we'll come back with a deeper immersion on the principles of the first quest. You will also want to click on the link to get your email registered so that we can send you notification of our next session. You will also find some additional resources such as a suggested reading list and a list of all 10 quests. If you sign up for my Twitter feed, I will send out daily quotes as guideposts for the first quest. There will be more resources along those lines in the future. I can guarantee you that. So for now, remember, our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to light and the lights about us. We do that by finding, rescuing, and unleashing the light inside. Light on.